Hi everyone, and welcome back to another Bork No Game video. Today's video is AK2, the Christmas stuff dropping, so let's jump right into it. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Once we hit 5k, we'll be doing that giveaway. We are super close to it, and I would greatly appreciate if we hit 5k, I'll be doing a special video for that one. Alright, so into the thick of things, we can see right here that there is going to be a step grimoire, and it's going to be 5-step. Now, some of y'all are probably being like, Bork, this was a 3-step. Important things right here, thanks for porting it out, Twitter. It is a guaranteed S. So this 3-step banner did not guarantee an SR. So that is already by itself leagues ahead. Even if you can do a 3-step, and get a guaranteed S or higher, in my personal opinion, that's nowhere near as good as actually getting an SR, because pretty much this is a glorified banner where you don't actually get an SR even though it's 3-stepped, right? It's super awesome in global that we actually get a proper 5-step banner with a guaranteed SR weapon. So thank you for that, Pokelabo. Let's jump into other things where it's the actual classes themselves. Now, stat-wise, they only provide 400 stats, but the thing is, it's Christmas, and who doesn't like a Christmas skin? And this is going to be for tome users, so if tome users, you want to use this Christmas skin in particular for Red Riding Hood, feel free to grab it. Nothing too special, 400 stats right there. And then as far as Snow White, this one's a little bit beefier. I would say this is, I believe, like the 700 stat. It's going to be stacking physical defense. And you can see right here, it's going to be like, a sword main. And I would say this one's pretty good as far as like a class to actually pick up, whether you're, a physical vanguard or a magical vanguard. I think this can pretty much help everyone. So yeah, this one's an easy recommend. The stats are just so much better. And then this is going to be our paid boy right here, Pinocchio, and he's going to only be adding 400 stats. The thing is he's going to be providing a whopping amount of HP. And the thing is you can max limit break the instrument that he's going to be using. So that is going to be pretty good of itself. If you want to go ahead and pick that one up, I don't think there's anything wrong with actually getting that particular weapon. Let's look at that later. So, in other news, you guys already know these are going to be pretty much the weapons that are going to be available. And of course, the wreath is going to be the last item that's going to be, we can take a look at by itself because that one's a paid one. So as far as the weapons goes, they don't really change, I believe, like going over this is still support boon 1, 6,149 stats at max, 6,128, and for the most part, yeah, it's exactly the same like the sword and the tome. And this absurd conviction staff, I didn't see this earlier, but this is also going to be part of the actual banner itself. Now, as far as these weapons goes, they are 17 cost, so they are a bit cheaper. I will say that the sword is probably the better, just because it comes with the Snow White class, and the Snow White class is actually really good of itself. Now, it doesn't do anything special in regard where it's like it doesn't do like that 1.5 ability where if you're lower in like combo and stuff, you deal more damage. It's pretty much like the standard sword. I would rate this as like a B. I don't think it's like something that you have to get, but it does have pretty decent stats because it's not like a balanced weapon. It's actually more focused on physical attack. As far as this tome goes, it's a 1.5. It decreases physical defense and physical attack. Very interesting with, Red Riding Hood Half Nightmare. I guess if you want to fully max limit break this tome, because it's technically very available to do so, there is only 4 weapons on this banner, so you have a decent chance of max limit breaking this tome. I have had, cases where I pull on banners and I manage to never get the tome, which is lucky on my part because, I'm not a support main. So I will say like this one's decent, but it's not going to be game changing, right? Now, as far as this Charged Darkness goes, it's a 1.5, increases magical attack. Nothing too special right here. If anything, you want to max limit break, pole arm, maybe this is the one for you. And as far as the Absurd Conviction goes, it's another 1.5. It's recovery support 1. So as far as that one goes, it's okay as well. Like, I can't say like any of these weapons really stand out to me as a must pull, but then again, this is also a step up banner. So since it's a step up, it's going to be easier to max limit break them. And if you need weapons that, you want to max limit break, then maybe this is the banner for you. But I will say it's not a must pull just because of there's other things coming in the future. Now let's talk about other things, and that's going to be the Christmas feast. And some of y'all were asking, can you get the Santa half nightmare? And just note that this is a, candy medals event. So, if you collect X amount of medals, you get guild rewards, this, that, and the third. It's pretty much like your standard medal event. And this is going to be the shop. You can see right here, there's going to be, the Nutcracker Xmas that we can get, some stickers that we can get. I really want this Red Riding Hood one. This one's pretty cool. And then, of course, we can get like an S rank gun. This is probably going to increase our medal count. And the thing that you guys have been asking for, Santa is here. Yes, he is. You can definitely get the nightmare version of him, and we'll be breaking that down. Also, we can get this icicle puppet, and we can get some crystals to boot. Now, I would say not everything is going to be available for this shop, but it's going to be a welcome addition. Get all these story or skill gems, and get all of these crystals and nightmares. Now let's look at the actual weapon that we are talking about for Pinocchio. I will say that this weapon is actually pretty decent because it increases physical attack and it also has weapon repair. Now weapon repair is nowhere near as good as support boon 2. Support boon 2 will always be superior, but the thing is with weapon repair is that it's just as good. It's like a step down. So it has a fixed chance to increase one Vanguard's physical attack and magical attack. I'm not sure how these repairs work, if it stacks on every single weapon like support boon, because support boon can proc anywhere. If weapon repair can proc pretty much anywhere, it is decent because, it's technically like granting another buff randomly somewhere else. So overall, I will say, it's not a bad thing, but at the same time, it's 17 costs, and at max limit break, it's 6,151. And it's, mainly like physical attack boosted. I will say, it is a easy max limit break instrument, and these don't really appear very often. So, it is up to you. If you're minstrel main and you want to max limit break this thing, it's going to be an easy add on your grid, and it's hard to take max limit break stuff off of your grid. Even if you pull like, a godly support boon instrument, it's not going to come off your grid because, weapons that are 18 cost or 17 cost do not have 6,151 stats. Like, that's just not a thing. If you look, let's go look in the database just for example. Let's look at this Love's Rhapsody, and it's 20 costs, right? At base, at level 80, it's only 5,906. That's still not enough to technically beat, for example, a max limit breaking instrument. It's at like 6,151 stats. Like we can see here, it's at 6,151. If you compare it to the Love's Rhapsody, that's 20 cost at base at 5,906. It's still not enough to technically, remove it from your grid. So these are the things that you kind of have to factor in. Even if a weapon will be outclassed in the future, it's still not going to outclass a max limit break weapon until you get at least one copy in the future. That's just how it works. Now let's look at Santa. Now, as far as everything goes, this is a cool looking nightmare. I have to say, like, if you want him like for cosmetic purposes, I don't blame you. He's pretty much like a bootleg Ugalu. So if you want Santa, set stuff on fire, I guess you can do that. It's probably one of the memeiest like nightmares that we can get in the entire game. And this icicle puppet is actually pretty cool. Now it is pretty much like a, I guess, Mount Archelon or Ogre clone. So if you want to use like something different, if you don't have more Archelon, you don't want to use Justice, and you don't want to use Ogre for some reason, then I guess you could use this, puppet, because, it's pretty cool looking. I like the sprite work for it. All things said, like with the banner and all the things coming, like with the Christmas events, I will say I would like hold your gems, save your gems, because they saved this on Twitter where it's pretty much happy 6-month anniversary. 1/1 marks 6 months of SINoALICE Global, and to celebrate, we'll be holding a campaign full of events details coming soon, and the 6-month anniversary live broadcast will bring us more details on Project Fusion, plus tons of other great content. And for the most part, I will say that, really are great at communicating with us. That is SINoALICE's like hugest strong suit. Except for the fact where we have bugs and stuff, and sometimes we gotta poke them a little, but that's a separate topic. But they still like respond, right? Like for a developer, that is pretty nice. And I will say that they've always been generous. Hopefully they continue to be generous, and hopefully they keep communicating with us. And if anything, this event, we don't know what's going to happen in the future. So I'm hoping we get more crystals, because December has been light on, like the free Twilight crystals as far as like SINoALICE global goes. There hasn't been too many events where we're getting free crystals, so I'm hoping that's going to be coming. Of course, we get free crystals from, the Santa event and the metal shop, but I could always use, more crystals in my pocket because I felt like they were raining it down, in November, in Halloween. We were getting crystals like left and right. December has been lackluster so far, I will say that, but beggars can't be choosers, and I'm happy with the direction, with the way like everything's going. Hopefully they get a fixing patch. I'm not sure if there was compensation yet. I'm not sure if like people's like games aren't working. Let me know down in the comments, because if anything, I'll just poke them on Twitter. Also, let me know if you guys don't like it when I go on rants, random tangents and whatnot. But that's it for today's video. So I'm really looking forward to all the things dropping for Christmas. I'm looking forward to the new events that they're hinting towards. Anyways, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitch, follow me on Twitter, and I will see you in the next one.